There is a big difference between perception and perspective, because perception is how you see things. It's all about the meaning that you give to a particular situation. It's how you interpret a situation based on your background and experiences. On the other hand, perspective is the way other people see things. It's how they interpret the situation, is the meaning that they've given to something based on their own background and experiences. Just imagine walking through a park and noticing a man sitting under a tree, with his head in his hands. At first glance, your perception might tell you that he's going through a bad day. This man is sad. Maybe he just lost a loved one. I think he needs help, right? But what if I told you that this man is just right there, seated and enjoying his favorite music? Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happens when we don't consider the way other people see things. When we don't consider what happens in other people's life. When we focus just on ourselves, that is why there is a big difference between perception and perspective. Because perception is how you see things. It's all about the meaning that you give to a particular situation. It's how you interpret a situation based on your background and experiences. On the other hand, perspective is the way other people see things. It's how they interpret the situation, is the meaning that they've given to something based on their own background and experiences. See, life is all about meaning and interpretation. And how you see things will always determine the meaning and how you interpret that situation. Whether you are a leader of a small group or a big group, or even if you are leading an enterprise, it is imperative to look into the way other people see things. It is important to consider others in every situation. In fact, if you want to get the best out of people, you cannot just base every decision on how you see things. If you want to really care, empathize, and show true love to people, you need to consider how other people see things. One of the ways I turn a good idea into a great idea is through shared thinking. It's by, throwing my good idea on the table for my team to look at the idea, and then we deliberate on it. After a while, this has happened to me many times. A good idea will become a great idea. And that's exactly what you need to consider in order to get the best out of your team. Do you always see things the way you see things? Or do you also consider the way others see things? This is very important when it comes to growing your leadership, scaling leadership, or growing your business. You cannot produce a scalable business or a scalable team if you are not considering the way others see things. Because perception is not the same as perspective. Let me give you another scenario. There was a time I was doing a training, and during that training, I was teaching about perspective, and then I wrote down 3, and I called 4 people. One person to stand right here, just in front of the 3, and another person on the other side. I put one person on my left, and then the 4th person on my right. So the person standing in front of the 3 sees 3, right? The person standing behind the 3 sees E. The person right here on my right sees what? W. And then the person on my left sees M. These 3 is still 3. It doesn't change. Remember that. So where you stand will always determine what you see. And where you stand is what I call your positioning in life. And your positioning in life is always based on your experiences, your knowledge, your foresight, all that you have gone through, all that you have been through, your story. That is you, and that is your life. And that's how you see things. That is how you interpret things. So don't expect everyone to see your 3 as 3, because where they stand determines what they see. As a leader, always think about others. Always consider how others are seeing things, how others are interpret situations, by asking questions, by listening, by observing, right? If you can follow those 3 powerful principles, listen more, observe more, ask more questions. Just follow those 3 powerful principles. Trust me, you will always get the best out of your people, and you will produce a creative organization, great culture.